to subscribe to the channel. It'd be greatly appreciated. So I'm not gonna stay too long on this video, but I'm going to bring up a topic that some people have hit me up in the inbox wanting me to speak about. They want me to speak about will there be a retaliation for the attempt on Tyson 6 life? And my thing is this. We all know that the 6 and 7 is at war, but the war at this period of time have slowed down dramatically, meaning that everybody is moving way more militant, everybody is moving with more purpose, and everybody is trying to survive, stay out the way, make it to the next year, but taking a day by day approach. Tyson 6, even though he is considered a gang leader by society, he's still a smart man, and he have been able to, outlast a lot of his opposition. At this moment, as time goes on and you start seeing things like Prince Swanee moving to the States and getting better opportunities and living life and making money, it opens the mind of the people like K-Man 6, Plumpy, etc., Prezi. So these guys are seeing that, if they play their cards right, they could leave and get out of the way. The problem is that Trinidad is filled with a lot of jealousy and hate. A lot of people don't want to see one another win, because if Trinidad really came together and really performed and put on for one another, it'll be way bigger than what it is right now. Because every time you kill a star, every time you kill somebody that brings some type of substance to the world, it really brings down the genre of the music, right? So at this period of time, the war is not on a standstill, but is right now it have slowed down dramatically, because people are starting to think now and starting to see things from a different perspective. Now, Trinidad, there's a lot of stuff that goes on. Tyson 6 has been able to survive. We haven't heard an attempt on Prezi life as of yet. The way he moves is that he don't really post too much. He don't be on social media too much. He moves very militant. He got a tight circle, and that's how you're supposed to move. But the war will never end between the 6 and 7, because even though that the artists that's promoting different camps will go off and venture off and do different type of music or whatnot, 6 and 7, that war music is what's going to really sell. That's what people is tuning into that's where the money is at. You gotta be mindful, man. Like, a lot of shit is going on where a lot of people is being killed. A lot of people is getting caught by the wayside. You see the corruptions in the police. The biggest gang is the police. It's not no 6, 7, 9 Rastas, Muslim. It's none of that. It's really the police department, and the government is the biggest gang, because they could do things to you and get away with it behind a badge, behind just being in tune with law enforcement and authorities. And this is things that you have to be mindful about. Again, you got to know how to move. You got police killing innocent people or people that's detained. and then being justified behind it. They could say, oh, he tried to pull a knife on me, and that justifies him for killing you. It's not the same when it comes to the gang leaders and stuff like that. They're going through a lot of turmoil, but is it really worth it when you look about it? Like, you representing a gang or whatnot, and every other time you in jail, you gotta always look over your shoulders. People want to kill you. People want to, you know, they want to take your spot. You got people that's in your own camp that's trying to backstab you and backdoor you. So you gotta ask yourself, like, is it really worth it trying to be in a gang 2025? There's so much things that goes in to that type of statement. Like, is it really worth it at the end of the day? Um, and this goes on throughout the Caribbean, man. It's not only Trini. A lot of people have been desensitized to these type of situations. You know, so. But this is why I always ask, and I always try to be straightforward that what's next when Trinidad dies out? What's next? Because to be honest, Trinidad is really short lived. You had some strong artists that kind of was the pillars of the Trinidad movement, but now is like it haven't even been 10 years yet, and a lot of artists died. A lot of artists almost got killed. Um, the 6 and 7 is dried up because Plumpy Boss is on the sidelines. So K-Man 6 can't really do too much dissing. You got Waka Don that got killed. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what is really going on? And and if Trinidad is dying, is on a dying ship, sinking ship, I mean, then what is next? What is next for it? What could what is the next end goal? Is they gonna revive soca? Because I felt like Jamaicans do not really rate Trinidad music. Every time they talk about it, they talk about soca and dancehall reggae from Jamaica or whatever. They don't really rate Trinidad music, bro. You know? So it's like, what's next? What's like, but will it be an artist that comes out of Trinidad that actually could take it to the next level? You got Prince Swanee, but now he has transition over to, more of a different type of sound. So what is next? What is next in sense of Trinidad? And where is this gonna go? I mean, it's still money and in the market of it, but like, what is next? Like, what is the end goal of Trinidad music? Do it take somebody to die for it to revive? How much artists could you count that is being consistent with the Trinidad movement right now? You got Young Star 6, you got K-Man 6, you got Plumpy Boss, you know. But how much people is it? Like, what is left from the culture? So I just want to know, like, I just want to know, because we're reaching a period where the music is not speaking for themselves. You know what I mean? The music is not speaking for itself. Now, if it still had Rebel 6, you know what I mean? You still had, what's this guy that passed away, man? K Lion. You had Waka Don. You had everybody still making music and shit. This shit'll be fire, bro. And then they'll inspire to bring more artists or whatnot. But as of right now, man, this shit is real bad because it's not too much people to really go listen to. The genre is washing up. It had a little buzz, and now like the buzz is over until something drastic happens. You know, right now the war in Trinidad, even with the content that I bring, is drying up because there's a lot of people that's tuning into Chicago and other stuff that's going on throughout the United States. I'm still trying to keep this channel alive and still trying to, bring you good content, but it's mostly people that I have to cover, civilians that's going through shit with the police or whatnot. Or a deranged dude might get crazy and kill every fucking body, and that's content. But the content between the 6 and 7, that shit has dried up. It has dried up. And I don't know if it's because everybody is a secret peace treaty going on. I don't want nobody to die. Don't get me wrong. It's just that I feel like the better days is behind us when it comes to the Trinidad culture and the players in the game. Um, but this is a time where you have to be mindful of what is going on. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of, last year was kind of crazy, 2024. It started off crazy. You know what I'm saying? It started off with a certain type of mix. Um, it was a lot of different, but now it's like you got you got the boss locked up, right? You got the boss locked up. You got Prezi. He been traveling and just trying to clean up his act, because I feel like he's tired of the back and forth, and he have got a taste of what success outside of Trinidad and the shit is going on. I think he got when he went to Dubai and all that. I think that all that kind of changed his mind, and it's a good thing that it changed his mind because life is bigger than just in the circle. But I feel like Trinidad is going to evolve with the other youths a year or two from now is going to come up and take over that. I feel like the K-Man 6, Young Star 6, the Plumpy Boss and them, I feel like that's going to dry up. And then they're going to have a whole set of new youths that's going to come over and make some noise with it. Because it's like you going around singing about